I didn't look at myself change clothes in the mirror until I was 25 because I wanted to avoid my scars. But then I learned that our scars are a work of art because they tell our story. And they're beautiful.
I got scars, babe. I got flaws, babe. I'm trying to break down these walls, baby. But tell me, am I still beautiful, beautiful? I got scars, baby. I got flaws, baby. Trying to break down these walls, baby. But tell me, am I still beautiful, beautiful, beautiful? It's been such a long time since I looked myself in the eye, and I can't believe I'm so fly yet. All this time I've been so blind. And look at me now. I thought I had to be perfect in order to be worth it. I thought I had to be flawless to accept all this. I got scars, baby. I got flaws, baby. Trying to break down these walls, baby. But tell me, am I still beautiful, beautiful, beautiful? Tell me, how do you see it? Do you see the real queen beneath it? Am I just what you've been looking for? 'Cause baby, I can't be no more. Am I good enough to hold you? Am I good enough to love you? Am I good enough to be enough for you? I got scars, baby. I got flaws, baby. Trying to break down these walls, baby. Baby, am I still beautiful? Am I beautiful? Am I beautiful? Yeah. I got scars, baby. Say, oh, I got flaws, baby. Got these flaws, baby. Tryna break down these walls. Tell me, am I still beautiful? Am I? Oh, yeah. I got scars, baby. I got flaws, baby. Gonna break down these walls. Hey, am I beautiful? Beautiful, yeah. Hey, yeah. Yes, I got flaws, baby. I got flaws, baby. And I'm gonna break down these walls. Scars make you beautiful. I know you see it. I know you feel it. You gotta be it. Scars make you beautiful.
Welcome, 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 everyone. Thank you all for joining us. You have just been introduced to I've Got Scars, baby video. And right now you are on the live book release for Audra Bryant's new book, I've Got Scars, baby. Can we welcome Audra into the fold so that she can now be a part. You can see her beautiful face. Hey, Audra.
Hey, Melanie. How you doing, girl?
Oh, good. How you doing? This is your big debut right now, so I know you must be feeling all kind of stuff.
I do. I feel good. I feel a little nervous at the same time because it's like, oh, child, these people's gonna be in my business. They're gonna be in my beeswax, okay?
Yeah, well,
But
first I want to say thank you so much for taking us along this journey with you. We know that the video was done about 3 years ago and it's been
yeah,
processed since. And we are here now to, enjoy the book. Please
man.
tell us a little bit about the book.
Well, first of all, I'm just to everybody who's watching, I just want to say thank you so much. You guys have no idea, and I can see your comments right now on the screen, and y'all just warming my heart. I just want y'all to know I see all of y'all over there. Um, right now, I'm seeing Aaron, Michelle, Marcia. I'm seeing Charlene and Julian, like Alex and Nini. All of y'all are amazing. Everybody who's watching, who hasn't even commented yet, thank you. But the reason we're here, when I my scars have been a thing that I just didn't share with a lot of people. I've had you just deal with stuff on your own. You just kind of get used to like, oh, well, that's just what it is. I had this experience and that's just what it is, and you kind of are keeping it inside. And when let me just say it took me about 10 years to write the song Scars. Let me just start there, okay? It took me 10 years to write that. And this is after I had started showing my scars to the world because there was still some healing that needed to be done. And so when I wrote the song and I started performing the song, and people came up to me and they would start showing me their scars or talking about their scars. And I was like, you know what? I have to do something about this. It can't just stay there and stop there. So thank you to you, to Melanie, and to O'Shea, your awesome husband and the publishers of the book, and to Charlene for saying, girl, tell the whole thing. That's
Yes.
what y'all said. So yeah.
Yes. So, Audra, if you don't mind, I'm sure there's some people out there. I see some people already got their book, so they probably already have read this passage. But for those of them who have not gotten a book, who have just ordered it like 2 seconds ago and it's on its way because it's going to be an autograph signed copy with a bookmark, can you read a passage for them?
I sure can. I sure can. So I want to read a passage. Here's the book. Y'all see? All right, there you go. So I'm gonna read a passage called "Avoiding the Mirror" because I want to paint the picture about what life really looked like hiding. And this is just hiding the physical scars, not really the emotional part,
We're going
but
to get to that part.
hiding. We're gonna get to that part. So this is what life was like. So avoiding the mirror. Step out of the shower, dry off, apply shea butter, put on pajamas, all without a glance at my reflection. I was gifted at it. I'd seek the mirror to make sure I'd flossed and brushed properly, and then I'd climb into bed. I knew that avoiding mirrors was probably kind of weird growing up. I imagine people probably didn't go to such great lengths to avoid looking at themselves, but that was my life. I recall consciously turning my face away from the mirror when I got out of the shower or changed clothes for bed, but it didn't stop there. I was especially vigilant in the locker room at school. I was the one huddled in the corner with my back to everyone, doing a quick change into my gym shirt. We wore uniforms in middle school, and my shirt was a button down. Most of the time, I didn't even remove my uniform shirt until my gym shirt was completely on. You might have thought I was a magician because poof, white shirt to blue shirt in the blink of an eye. While DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince's Summertime was bumping on the car radios in June and kids were popping fire hydrants, you could easily catch me wearing a turtleneck in 80-degree weather. I'd face heat stroke if it meant I get to cover my scars. I love to splash about in the pool as long as I had a t-shirt to cover my scars. I didn't care if my hair got wet as long as my scars didn't show. I was the kid that knew if I forgot my t-shirt that day that I would not be swimming, okay? I was 10 years old, crying profusely on my mother's lap. Ignoring her words of comfort, I staunchly proclaimed that no one was going to want to marry me because of my scars. So, dating in high school and my early 20s was quite the experience. Making out with me was like playing a game of Twister. A guy could kiss my cheek, but not my neck, my right shoulder, but not my left, my stomach, but not my chest, my thighs, but not my breast. It was no picnic for me either. Just the thought of physical intimacy with a guy sent me through a whirlwind of emotions and made me want to hop on the nearest flight to Alaska because at least I can get some great mileage out of that turtleneck while I was there. All because I did not want to bear the thought of him seeing my scars. In my early 20s, my boyfriend at the time knew how I felt about my scars, and he was very patient with me. It was his birthday. I'd given him a gift that he loved, and to thank me, he hugged me and he kissed just the very tip of the scar on my chest. Yeah, it was just the tip of the scar, but let me tell you, that was the most uncomfortable feeling in the world. It felt akin to molestation. I'd never been sexually violated, but this is what the feeling I felt. This was the feeling I felt as his lips touched my scar. I was frozen solid. What lasted probably 2 seconds felt like 10 minutes. My mind disconnected from my body for the entire length of his demonstration of affection. And I disappeared into another realm to escape what I was feeling. This was a level of discomfort that I couldn't stand to actively participate in. I never told him what I felt in that moment because I knew his intentions were good. I just never experienced that level of discomfort before. It was just my natural reaction. This was life for me, my normal. Sure, the desire to hide myself and the lengths I went in order to do so in these situations was inconvenient, but I could see no other way around it. I felt like I had to hide, so those behaviors became part of life for me. All right. So that is from chapter 2 of the book. But yeah,
Yes, Audra, thank you for that. I'm sure that everyone listening in could feel, what you were saying, and how you delivered it. But I do have a question for you. Considering you wrote this book as a burn survivor,
yes.
for those who have physical scars, how do you think the book will affect those who don't have physical scars, the scars we can't see?
So I'm really glad you asked that question. And I will always say to anyone, I am not what you would consider to be the face or the best representation of what it's like to be a burn survivor because I have what they call hidden scars. And so what that means is that technically I can hide my scars. I wore this dress intentionally so that you can see my scars. You
Mhm.
can see, okay, let me move this out the way. So I'm sure many of you have seen it. But I wore this intentionally because I want you to see my scars, but uh I don't have to show them. And so I think that because I learned to move throughout life hiding myself. And a lot of times people in life, that's what they do is they hide. They hide stuff that goes on the inside. Whether it's something that happened to them at 6 years old, 10 years old, whether they went through a divorce and they're hiding the shame or the pain from whatever experience they've had in life, whatever trauma they've had in life, it doesn't matter that it's not physical.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's about, are you hiding? Are you at a space where you feel free enough to be all of you, even the stuff that you don't like about you? And so
Yeah.
that's really what I want this book to speak to, is to speak to the people who who don't have stuff that people can easily see, but they have stuff that they feel on a daily basis.
That's so important, Audrey, because so many people are hiding their scars from themselves as well.
Yeah.
You know, And so hopefully this book will encourage them to really, face it, bring it out, and then start healing from those scars. So, it's very important. So why do you think the topic of scars is so important?
I think it's important because, kind of like you said, we practice hiding, you know? Like, um, vulnerability, I think, is one of the scariest but most beautiful things in the world. Vulnerability is really putting yourself in a position where people can hurt you on levels that are very deep. Because I think at the end of the day, we all desire to be loved, we desire to be accepted. And so I think talking about the scars for me, I'll just say, I felt alone.
Hmm.
I'm the only one of my friends. I didn't grow up in a community with other burn survivors. I didn't grow up being able to share, have conversations with people about my experience. And so, because of that, I had to deal with it. And I still felt different from my friends, all these different things. And so, to me, it's just like we have to talk about the stuff that people don't want to talk about.
Hmm.
And And the only thing that kept me trapped was feeling like, well, everybody is perfect except for me. At the end of the day, like, isn't it easy to say, the grass is greener somewhere else? That's a whole thing for a reason because people really honestly think the grass is greener, but
Yeah.
it's not. And so when you start talking about scars, when you start talking about the truth of the matter, then you start to see, oh, everybody is not perfect. And that's okay because they're still beautiful. So, yeah.
So let's deal with the truth of the matter, like you just
Okay.
said, when it
Uh-huh.
comes to this book and the process of getting this book out of you, right?
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
know that myself, O'Shea, and Miss Charlene Green had received a copy of the first rendition, right?
Mhm.
And I know that we had gone through it, me and
Mhm.
you first,
Mhm.
over and over again. Then you
Mhm.
had gone through it with O'Shea. Then you gone through it with. So basically, the whole idea was to encourage you to tell your whole story versus just giving the people a pamphlet. How do you feel about that process? And can you give some insight on the process of telling the whole story and creating? Because I think that that helped to release one of your scars.
Mhm.
Can you please talk about that process?
So, yeah, so it's kinda like this, one of my breakthrough moments was a moment where I was just like, "Alright, I wanna go encourage people through my music." This was years ago. I mean, I was several years ago, over 10 years ago. I was like, "I wanna encourage people through my music and all of this good stuff." And in that moment, this is back when I was hiding my scars. In that moment, I felt like God just whispered in my ear. So, I hear what you're saying, but this is God talking to me, right? I hear what you're saying, Audra. But how are you gonna help anybody else if you won't even look at yourself in the mirror?
Hmm.
And that was the thing. And I think when I got into the process of having to do the book and doing the book, like I was like, well, I don't really feel like I have a story to share.
Hmm.
Honestly, I didn't feel like I really had stuff going on within myself that I like. Why would anybody read a book that I wrote? It didn't really make sense to me. So I said, well, let me just encourage people because I like to encourage people. Go do good stuff because you're amazing. Like, yeah, I want you to be successful because you deserve to be successful. But that's not it. You can't just go out and encourage somebody and have people trust you when you haven't even shared anything that's going on with you. People like to connect with people and see themselves in each other. And so that was the thing about when I first wrote the manuscript. I was just like, let me glaze over my little story. You hear my little story. Let me just glaze over that a little bit, right? And say some things, sprinkle a little information here and there, and that's it. Like, that was all I wanted to do, is just sprinkle a little information and then make it more about the person. And O'Shea, he was like, "Okay, no, people need to know you." And that was the scariest thing in the world. 'Cause
Yes.
but it was one of those things where I'm so glad because it actually made me go within myself
Mhm.
to do a lot of digging, cause I thought I had dug enough, okay? I was showing my I'm telling you, I was
Mhm.
showing my scars to the peoples. I had already done a lot of work. I had done, I was getting by just fine. Like, I had gotten to the point where, I was showing my scars to the world. That was a big thing for me.
Yeah.
But being able to talk about this stuff and then being able to connect certain dots, this book made me connect dots that I didn't know needed to be connected.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And so I think when you're doing that kind of work, that is what people need to see. They need to see you connect your dots for yourself. They need to see so that they know, "Oh, I can do this for myself."
Right.
So yeah, so at the end of the day, I had to do some work, and that was not pretty. There was some times where I was crying like, "What in the world?" Like, I can't even believe that I was holding on to some of those things.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it gets deep, especially when you can always think that you know the other person, but when you got to get to know yourself, that's a whole nother level of learning.
Ooh,
All
child.
right. So, Audrey, I can sit here and ask you questions all day, but we do have some people in the audience that have a few questions that they might want to ask. So, I'm going to go ahead and bring some people in from backstage. Is that all right with you?
That's all right with
You ready
me.
for these questions about these scars, baby? So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna introduce and let in Miss Terry, Theresa Ningle.
Hey, girl, how are you?
Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, girl. How are you?
Oh, greetings, Audra, Melanie. Thanks for allowing me to come up and enjoy this. It's so good. I could just sit back and listen and listen.
Yes.
This is yummy stuff.
Well, Miss Terry, you go back a cool minute with Miss Audra. I know we spent
We
some
sure
time
do.
Mhm.
at Vibrations late nights, but
We
do you
sure
have a
do.
question for Audra about this process? Because sometimes the more you know somebody, the less you know about them.
Right.
Mm.
Speak
Mm.
on it, Melanie. Speak on it.
Yes.
So, the book is amazing. It's brilliant,
Thank
brilliant,
you.
and I felt when I read the book, I felt like I was right there. Like
Mm.
the vision for me was like I was there when you moved. I was there with you on the date. Like when you sat in that apartment by yourself, I felt like I was right there. So my question is, if you could take one word to just describe where what you had to tap into
Mhm.
to write this book, what would it be?
I really feel like kind of going back to what I said, vulnerability.
Mhm,
I have a chapter called Naked for the First Time.
mhm,
And that's what I feel like this process has been. And honestly, I just happen to do mine in book form, but I think vulnerability, being naked, it really is what is necessary in order for healing to take place, in order to create healthy bonds and relationships. Like, you have to put yourself out there
yeah.
and like and then see if the person receives you. Like, if they can love you, if they can bring you in, if they can welcome you in with your vulnerability, with your nakedness, with all of that, then I think that you have something there. And so with this book, at the end of the day, I did the best that I could do, and I'm hoping in my heart that it's something that can be beneficial to someone else in reading it and help them to look at their own stories. And so that's why, yeah, it's a memoir, but it's a s I refer to it more of a as a self-help memoir wherein people can actually, like I have questions at the end of every chapter for people to
Yes, I love
reference their own stories, because it's at the end of the day, it's the book is about me, but it's not really about me. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Well,
So
that
yeah.
also is what shifted it from being the pamphlet to being the book, because initially she came to us with the self-help idea, but she didn't know how much of self-help she was about to do for herself in order to
Okay,
get this out.
clearly.
Exactly, so
Yeah. The
Yeah.
being able to have self-reflection during the book was
Yeah.
priceless.
Oh,
Like,
good.
the scars, we know the physical scars, but the emotional scars, the unconscious scars that you carry, that's what really resonated with me, because you're moving and doing, but you don't even recognize that you've created a whole workaround to not really acknowledge the scars, or deal with the scars.
or
Oh,
even
what a
dealing with the
workaround.
scars that are coming to you while you're in the process of healing from a past scar. The scars that are
Oh,
showing
come
up in
on.
you now, and yeah, but it felt like a scar was forming while doing this book, but it was actually a scar that was healing.
Yeah. It healed a lot of stuff for me. I mean, if you don't deal with it, you can't heal it. And that's just the truth. And that, I mean, I describe in the book my process of looking in the mirror for the first time. And it was a 6-month process just to look at myself like this, essentially.
Mhm.
And um and so I think that that process, it's not just a physical scar process.
No.
There are some things about ourselves internally that we may not be too fond of.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And this, but if you ignore it, it's kind of like ignoring your finances, right? If you know your credit bad, okay, let's just go ahead and just put it on some just regular stuff. If you know your credit is just not so good, but you really don't want to check your credit score because you already know, like, I am not gonna be happy. One of the first things, and this is from financial coaches, they say, look, you like suck it up for a second, go to your accounts, look up your credit score, put it all on the table
Yes.
Mhm.
and face it. You
Yeah.
got to face that thing, and then you start to strategize how you can heal and grow through the process.
Yeah.
But you have to face it, and it's just so easy sometimes to not look in the mirror.
Yes, thank you for that, Audra. And thank you, Terry, for your question. We're going to move on to our next question. We have someone else that we're going to be bringing in right now. And I think we should kind of balance this out with some masculine energy. What y'all say?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Thank you, Terry. Thank you so much, girl.
So we're going to bring Jason in. Jason, do you have a question for Miss Audra Bryant?
Yeah, how you doing, Audrey?
Hey, I'm doing well, Jason. How are you?
I'm doing great. I really love your book, first and foremost, and
Thank you.
thank you so much for writing it because it really opened up a lot for me as well. Whenever I was
Mm,
reading it, I think it's an excellently written book. You know,
thank you.
I think maybe for a lot of readers, it would be good to know just your education history, because a lot of people are like writing books now. Even
Hmm.
Will has just written his book and has did a whole release party this past week, and I think that people are looking to write books, but they don't really know where to start, where to begin, and if you can just kind of like just give a different perspective from a writer perspective to a lot of the people, they can maybe grasp something from that.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, because I'm not this is not me writing anything from the space of like, oh, I'm a PhD or any of that kind of stuff. This is what I've heard. I remember O'Shea said it's just something like a narrative therapy. This is my story. This is me actually fully examining my story. This is not about, oh, let me go find this research. It's not a dissertation. It's not all that. It's me telling my thing, sharing my story, how I felt, um, based on my own perspective and how I grew up and what I saw growing up and what I felt growing up. So I think when it comes to writing, I just wanted to connect with the audience and be honest. Essentially, that's all. I just wanted to be honest.
Yeah, whenever I was
And
reading it,
yeah.
it was very transparent. All the words, it was. I just loved it, and I even remarked to you, prior about that.
Jason, I think that's an excellent question for Audra as well, because even in, going through this process with her, with Still Waters Publishing, we were able to see how we have a story that we leave a lot of details out of just because it's us and we don't think that they're important. So when, going through certain pages of the manuscript and asking detailed questions, Audra would be like, "Oh, do I have to say all that? Is that part important?" And it's just like, well, yes, it's important. It may not be important to you in the moment, but the reader who doesn't know you, a lot of
Mhm.
times we find ourselves writing for people that we know. If
Yeah.
we're writing for the world, I think this is a world book, Audra, and writing it for the world, that we're open to get into the intimate details of it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think writing in general, I've written things before. I've written a play before. I've written, scripts before, things of that sort.
Mhm.
Um, but writing about yourself, here's the thing. I remember when I wrote my first play and it was going into production and I was up in the middle of the night, like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I would just wake up in like a cold sweat, super nervous because, oh my gosh, people are going to see my work. They're going to see words and all like jokes that I put in here and they're going to see this product.
Mhm.
Right. And I was terrified because what are they gonna think? Are they gonna think it sucks? And I'm like asking the cast, "Are you sure this doesn't suck? We've been through like months of rehearsals, all of this kind of stuff. Are you sure this doesn't suck? Okay, I just need you to be honest with me because we can shut this thing down. I already put money to it's gonna go into the theater. It's gonna happen, but I don't like all of that happened. So writing something about yourself is a whole other level of like panic in a sense. But the difference with this is that I really had to say, you know what? At the end of the day, it was therapeutic for me,
Mhm.
and I can only do the best that I can do. And it really it's not about me. And that's what I think I had to really kind of get myself to really kind of understand that it's not about perfection. It's
To get
not about getting this perfect. It's about getting this as honest as it can be and it's like letting God add the increase essentially. It's like, all right, well, I did the best I can. All right, I put it on out there. This was my truth. I hope somebody can see the fact that I was just trying to be as honest as possible and they go
Mhm.
and they can do the inner work. That's why there are questions for people to ask themselves so that they can do the inner work and ask themselves the questions they need to ask themselves so that they can get to a place of peace or whatever it is that they're looking for. So yeah.
Thank
Great.
you, Jason, for your work. Is there anything else? And I muted your mic because we're getting a little bit of feedback, but do you have anything else for Audra?
Oh, no, no, no. Just to say thank you for giving me the opportunity to read it, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Jason. I appreciate you for checking it out and for being here.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you so much, Jason. We do have another question from someone who's backstage. We're gonna go ahead and bring them forward. How you feeling, Audra?
I'm feeling good. I'm
Yeah.
feeling well.
Okay, everyone, please welcome Miss Danielle. Miss Danielle, do you have a question for Audra today?
Hi, you can hear me?
Hello.
You can see
Yes.
me. Okay.
Yes.
Um, hello. I'm
Hello.
probably going to cry. It's okay. um, my sister, hello. Congratulations to you. I'm so excited. I, for one, have been able to be along the ride for this book from beginning to end. And I have so much gratitude to have walked with my sister through all of these hard times. Um, I'm only saying this because through those times I found that inspiration. You know, I'm 4'5". I have scoliosis. And one of the first things, first of all, I've known this girl since I was born. Anyway, we have a lot of
Not
history.
for real. Technically, just so people at the house will be like, wait a minute. Audra Daddy didn't had another baby we don't know about. I don't want nobody to think that. Hold on. It almost seems like we're sisters, but we are sisters in spirit. Because
This just from another mister.
there you go.
Yeah,
So just so the
we're
people
still
know,
pondering if we're related. So to be continued, actually.
right?
But one of the things that really brought our bond together was the idea of having a scar, and not really being able to have anyone to talk to about it. And you know, I grew up feeling like a monster. And I was teased. I felt incredibly ugly. You know, it was an ongoing process throughout childhood and becoming a woman, and learning what it meant to love who I am, even when I don't see anybody that looks like me or I felt could understand what it's like to carry my scars. But the cool thing about being reconnected with my sister was that with her burns, we found so many, even though our journeys were very different, there was so much similar in how we were, how I don't know, our journey in discovering the love that we had for ourselves, and just, you know, processing having a difference that, you know, nobody else sort of had that we knew of, and just the connection and the bond of that experience. I say all that to say, throughout this journey, it's been very inspiring to see Audra's vulnerability. And we've had some very heartfelt nights, a lot of tears, a lot of emotional times working through vulnerability. And it's very, very hard, especially when we're taught to keep all of our business inside, not to open up. Just this, just the culture that we grow up teaches us to close in, and protect our business, protect our hearts, protect ourselves. So we almost are born with a wall to protect ourselves. So I'm just grateful. I'm so excited for this book, and how it's going to bless so many people. I know that's been the heart and the desire for you, and it's incredible that you're here right now. I don't even have words to say, but anyway, my question, I can sit here for hours, honey. And I will, if you know who me. My question is, hey, you inspire me, and so many people are going to be incredibly inspired by reading this book. Who inspires you? How did you get to this point? Is there somebody or some folks that inspire you to get to where you are right now?
Excellent question.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Danielle. Just all of your words. My goodness, I appreciate you so much. Who inspires me? Wow. I feel like there are so many things, but I'm going to talk about how I've been inspired as of lately, recently. First of all, Danielle was actually on the first episode of my podcast, I've Got Scars, Baby. She was the first guest that I had on the show, and you please go watch that episode because it's very powerful. But I will say there are so many people. I'm so grateful for I've Got Scars, Baby, the podcast. Let me say that, because I literally am talking to people. I get to sit across either a table or sit in front of them via Zoom, and I get to talk to them about their life experiences, about their scars, about the traumas they've experienced in life. And it truly is like, I feel like I'm just seeing how amazing and powerful and just amazing human beings. And I'm like in awe of God when I listen to these people's stories. Like Danielle, when you were talking to me and sharing your story, it was just like, oh my gosh. Like, because we had a lot of similarities, but we also, it was just it was just so much. And so I see so much in so many stories, and those things have inspired me. And I just say as of late, because I think you can watch anything and be inspired, but as of late, the stories that I hear on I've Got Scars Baby, oh my God. I'm amazed at these people's experiences. I'm amazed at their resilience. I'm amazed at the fact that they feel that they've made it through, and they have literally, like, they're empowering other people. They're helping other people just by speaking, and or by having whatever level of training they have. And they're helping people to be even more powerful in their lives, because maybe they're professionals, or they are coaching, and or they're just a person that had an experience, and they're helping other people now. I just love it. So that's my long-winded way of saying that is what has been inspiring me.
I
Yeah.
love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Um, and first of all, I'm Rude. Hello to all the people. Thank you for having me. I'm honored to be here. And again, cheers to you, and opening up your, because I know how difficult it is to open up and let people see a very deep rooted wound, and opening up so that you can get healed. That is the one step that is incredibly difficult. So we thank you for allowing people into your world, into your heart, into your life, and into your womb. I love you so much.
Love you, girl. Thank you so
Thank
much. I
you.
appreciate you so, so much. Thank you. You know what? I So, question. Somebody just popped in with a question, and I would like to address it. I'm not able to see necessarily all of the questions.
Mhm.
Um, but thank God my eyes is pretty good.
Hey now.
Okay. So, Marina Bell Natural Hair Salon and Cosmetics.
Right.
Do you see that in your book?
In your book, your dad made the mistake to drop the hot coffee that caused your scars. Oh, it just jumped. Did you ever confront him, or do you think confrontation with the person who caused the scar is part of it?
So, I do want to address that, and I do talk about that in the book, because I was under my dad's care when I was burned. And like I said in the book, I'm a daddy's girl, very much so. He and I have always had a bond, and I felt loved, genuinely loved by my dad, for sure. And both my parents, for sure. Um, what and to answer the question, no, I never confronted him about the experience. And
We had
this
this
is
conversation, remember?
yeah, like I never confronted him about this. One, because I think I could sense that he still carried it. And I remember speaking with my brother in the writing of the book, because my dad has since passed away during the process of writing the book. Well, prior to the process of writing the book, but um, one of the things he said was, I was burned at 18 months old, but my dad
When you
actually, like,
said
even
after you broke up, can you
okay,
what how old you were?
I was 18 months old when I was burned. And so what happened is that um so I was very young, but even when was like a teenager, say 16 years old, if I was over at the house and a part of my scar showed, and this is learning this from my siblings, they said, "Oh, dad would kind of cringe." Not cringe at me, but it would remind him of the mistake that he made. Which is a mistake that any parent, because kids are rambunctious, they run around, they do their thing, and stuff happens. But I never blamed him, and it wasn't accidents happen, and the thing is that had that not happened, we wouldn't be here today. Had that not happened, there be a would there be a platform for other people to really talk about their scars, their experiences. And so I'm a believer that things happen for a reason. And so, yeah, I never felt like I needed to confront him or anything like that because I'm very glad that I was able to grow through this process. And I grew through this process also because I felt loved. Generally speaking, I was the one that had the stuff, the issues with my scar, not really as many other people as I thought. So that's a whole other topic. But yeah, so I never felt that I needed to have that conversation with him because I already saw that he felt guilty about it anyway.
Yeah. Thank you, Audra, for that perspective too, because a lot of times people feel like it's another party that they have to discuss some things with. And truth be told, a lot of times it's the discussion that we have to have with ourselves. No one else can forgive you. You can only forgive yourself. And what you forgive yourself for is being angry at the other person if anger ensues, or being open to whatever negative energy can come versus being okay with the fact that this has happened and now our next moment is the most important versus the last moment.
And
So
yeah, and you're right. And what I do want to say too as well is that um my story and my experience is my experience. Now,
yes,
I don't ever want to say that someone should not speak with someone about a particular something that they've experienced. I think, however, um, I'm a big believer in discerning things and seeing when you should do a thing, when you should not. But it's always at the end of the day going to be, like you said, an inside job. And you having this conversation with a person, they may not tell you what you want to hear at the end of the day. They may be like, "Well, I did it, so what you want me to do? Ha ha,
absolutely.
deal with it."
Which
You know
is
what I'm
why the
saying?
healing from yourself is more important. So
Exactly.
if the conversation does present it an opportunity for it to happen, because
Mhm.
there are times where the opportunity doesn't even present itself, and then you're holding on to what the other person might be feeling, or they probably forgot.
Exactly. You have no control over, like, you can't wait on the other person to give you your resolve at the end of the day.
Yeah,
That's just bottom line, point blank. Because at the end, because also they got scars too. And
right,
one of the reasons they probably scarred you is because they got some scars that they didn't deal with. So
right.
if you just deal with your scars, then that should hopefully help you to stop, prevent you from scarring other people, still moving in that negative energy and, all of this. It just, yeah. So,
I think that you need to interview you on your podcast. No.
oh shoot, do you understand? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sit there and like, yes, and then how you feel, and then I'm gonna wear a whole other outfit and be like, girl, let me tell you. Yeah, that would
Well,
be fantastic.
so we only have about 10 more minutes. And
Hmm.
so, I just want to make sure that we use those in a most effective way possible.
Hmm.
And I'm saying that because, there are some things that a lot of times we want to share with the people,
Yeah.
right? And they never ask that question. And you're just like, gosh, I wish I had an opportunity to say dot, dot, dot.
Hmm.
Is there anything that hasn't been said thus far, or anything in particular that you would like to share with them more about the process? And the reason why I'm asking the question like that, Audra, is because you're so multifaceted. The book is just one aspect of you, but
Yeah.
there are a lot of parts of you that happened before you even thought about writing the book.
Yeah.
You're a singer, you're a
Hmm.
writer, you're a
Hmm.
comedian,
Hmm.
now you're an author,
Yeah.
Is there something that you can say to that is a conduit to connect these things? Because it seems like you're diversifying effortlessly.
I love that term, diversifying effortlessly.
Thank you.
That's
It's
that's
mine.
uh, that's your thing. Hashtag. Okay. You know what I'll say is that if I'm being honest, as I've done some things, I've done several things creatively, but I have to say that it didn't feel like I was diversifying effortlessly.
Right.
It felt like, girl, get it together. Why you ain't got yourself together? Why you all over the place? That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
Um, but what I will say honestly, and I'm starting to finally get it. And so this is to anybody who's a creative, who's a renaissance person. Uh Man, okay. What I love, I feel like the through line for me is I always love to encourage people. I feel like I'm an encourager. That's a part of me. That's what I feel very passionate about. And I also feel very passionate about mental health. And like it literally will hurt me. Like I'm an empath. So if people are going through some things and like it's like I draw to them. I'm like, zoop, you know what I'm saying? And so that is even when it comes to even the play that I wrote is dealing with scars. Even, my last project was dealing with my last music project. Through the Dark was dealing with scars, my own scars, the book is dealing with scars. So I started to see a through line that I didn't know was an actual through line. And so for this, I'm looking at this as becoming like this is my lane. I felt like I remember when I did and you hosted my album release party. And I did my album release party. Yes. Y'all can see it on YouTube. It's on YouTube.
And I
It's
sat
called
in the audience
Big.
at both of your plays too. I'm just
Oh,
saying.
yes. So, yes.
So
So
we're true supporters of Arthur
there
Bryant.
you go. I appreciate that so much. And it's one of those things where when I was on stage and I was singing and singing my song Scars, performing it, but really talking about my experience,
Can I stop
that's
you right there?
uh-huh.
Just can you tell them that you were singing without a voice that night?
Oh, Lord. If y'all understand, because I was singing my little heart out in
That was a star in
rehearsals the night
itself.
before. And my
Yeah.
mama was there. She was like, "Child, you ain't got no voice." I was like, she's like, "But God gonna work it out." And I was like, I need God to work it out right now. Because
He
I
did.
was like, I was like, I can't really talk is what I'm trying to say. Like that's what my voice was doing. So the fact that I got on stage that next night and had a voice, I had no idea when I walked into the microphone if anything was gonna come out. But what I'm telling you is that I it had to be a divinely
Mhm.
motivated experience because it was not just the physical was all the way together. But in that moment when I was singing and performing and I sang Scars and I started sharing my story, that's when I was like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do. That is what it was. This is what I'm supposed to do.
Mhm.
And so it really was about being on stage and being honest and speaking with, you know, the audience and sharing the depths. So anyway, I say all that to say that it all connects. The podcast, the book, the song, the plays, the everything. So I say that to the people out there who are multi-talented, who are like still like, what's my lane though? What are you really passionate about? And also what has gets on your nerves and frustrates you and you just you can talk all day about that thing. That's yeah. That's what it was for me that was very helpful.
Yes. So it's one thing that I think is real important from the beginning of this project that you just said is that you walked on the stage and you had a voice. You always wanted to encourage people to know that they have a voice, especially when they feel muted. So
Woo!
we definitely want people to get that from there. So, Audra, can you share with everyone? First of all, let's just say that we want you all to be able to go and get your copy. Can you let the people know where they can get their copy? Is it available at Still Waters Publishing? Um, oh, yeah, give your website, please,
Yeah.
Audra.
So you can pick up you can get a signed copy. If you want to get a signed copy, you can go to audrabryant.com/store. You can get your signed copy there. You can also get a bookmark. And while supplies last, you will also get a download card so you can check out the Through the Dark album, which features the song Scars. Um, But yeah, so if you want your signed copy, go to audreybryan.com/store. And also you can get, if you just want to if you just want to download it, you get the ebook version of that, you can get that on there as well. And then if you just are like, but I'm an Amazon person, I just want Amazon, then you just go to audreybryan.com/store and go to Amazon. Or if you just like, I just want to go directly to Amazon, just go to Amazon and type in I've Got Scars, baby, and then it'll pop up. So
Yes. Available. She is
yes.
Googleable. So y'all make sure y'all Google Audrey Bryant. If you didn't catch nothing she just said, Google her, and then it'll pop up, and then you'll have all these avenues in order to get the words that she has blessed us with in this book. I've Got Scars, baby.
Okay, I gotta answer this question real quick. Anthony is like, will you make an audio version of your book and will you read it? Y'all want me to read the book? Y'all want me to do the audio version of the book, y'all?
Well, you know what you can do, Audra? Before we go, we have about 5 minutes. Do you have another passage of the book that you would like to share with the people in about 2 minutes or less? Actually, can you hold the book up, the front of the
Yes,
book and the back
I
of the book, so
can.
people will know what they're getting when they get that book?
So this is the book. I've Got Scars, baby. And then you're gonna see me on the back. You're gonna see me on the front and the back. Lord, if you don't know, like I feel like I'm putting myself out there. Like,
Yeah,
yes, but
me too.
this is the book.
Show us the spine. Show us the spine.
Oh
So,
yeah.
in case they at the
And then
bookstore and it's on the shelf.
in case it's on the shelf, that's what it looked like. Stillwater's Publishing. And I'm looking at the comments, so people do want me to do an audio version. So I'm gonna have to just go ahead and do an audio version of the book. Y'all gonna hear all the shenanigans. I'm gonna be like, so, and then what had happened is that this had happened, and these people had said the thing. So y'all want to hear that? If y'all want to hear that, I will do it just because y'all want to hear it. Y'all so amazing.
Yes. Don't you say it? Yes, Queen. Yes, give
So
it
I
to
guess
us.
they do want to hear that. Okay. So you know what? If we're gonna read another portion, let me go ahead and read this part. This is you say you need the commentary. Okay. So yeah, so this is in the introduction, and this is just something I wanted you guys to know about me. Um I'm a huge Tina Turner fan. Beyonce is not the only one who loves her. I was Tina for Halloween at 4 years old. At 9, you could catch me in my room singing What's Love Got to Do with It at various times of the night. I also love to sing Proud Mary, Nutbush City Limits, or Rock Me Baby in the full length mirror in the hallway because there I really got to perform it. You know that full length mirror in the hallway, right? Okay. And when the film What's Love Got to Do with It came out, I felt so connected to Tina through Angela Bassett because of how electrifying she was in that role. I admired Tina's strength and Angela's portrayal of her. It was powerful. To see a woman with beauty and grace in an in your face, powerhouse type of performance was awe inspiring. She didn't just stand on stage singing, she owned every inch of that stage with her commanding presence, the epitome of fierce. That is how I saw myself when I blasted my boombox with the What's Love Got to Do with It soundtrack playing. I saw myself powerful like Tina. So I danced and I sang my heart out until I was hoarse most times. In that hallway mirror, I was a star until it was time for bed because either it was late or my mom had had enough of me in that mirror with my stage time. After singing the last song of the night, I would feel high and low at the same time. High because I loved those songs and I loved imitating Tina, and low because deep down inside, I felt as though I could never be a modern day Tina Turner. Not because I couldn't sing or dance, but because I had these ugly scars. I thought I could never look flawless on stage in those sexy outfits. I just knew I could not compete, no matter how good I was, because my scars would always be there. It was at those moments that I get mad at God because I just didn't understand why. Why did I have to have the scars? Why couldn't I be flawless and sexy? I needed an answer. In my early adulthood, I couldn't help but feel like Beyonce got to carry the Tina batoned because she's not only talented, but also beautiful, and she didn't have any physical flaws. All I could think was that my life would be better without these scars, that I would be better if I didn't have these scars. So that's the beginning.
Audra, girl, now we're going into overtime. So for those of you who want to hang out with us, I have to say this. When I first read that part of the book, that's the part that had me hooked. That's the part that had me not able to put the book down. Like you grabbed me in the beginning. And I was able to see you in those moments, and everybody picked up a hairbrush at some
Yeah.
point in their life and danced in the mirror,
Yeah.
And so whether it was Tina Turner or depending on how much you want to tell your age, it could have been somebody else.
Mhm.
But you did that, and so
Yeah.
we just want to say thank you for choosing Stillwaters Publishing. Thank you for allowing us to be a part of this journey. Thank you for telling your story in its totality and all of its wonder and all of its truth. And thank you for being you. And thank you for the projects that are yet to come.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you all. Like, thank you so much for believing me and uh just coaching me along the way
Sure.
during this process. And thank you so much to everyone who is watching. You have no idea how much it means to me to have you here.
Yes.
Like, it's just such a blessing to me to feel your level of support, honestly. You do something and hope that it doesn't suck at the end of the day. I mean, that's just me, like, "Oh god, I don't know, because you just never know, but it's one of those things that I just honestly feel is like, what a blessing to be able to do this and to do this with such supportive people. And I appreciate you no matter how we met or connected or whatever this is. I appreciate you. I want your feedback. If there's, if you want to leave a review on, Amazon or whatever it is, I would really appreciate that. But just know I'm so grateful. I'm grateful for this journey and for all that is to come. And yeah, I'm excited and grateful.
Yes, so Audra, the census have shown that the audiobook has to come. It's showing up in the chat.
All
Just
right then.
but not but and because
Okay.
buts negate everything that I said before that.
Okay.
But and yeah, I think that it'll be easy to turn this one into a stage play. The book is already written.
Wait, you said a stage play. Did somebody say that?
Stage play, yeah, yeah.
Somebody said a stage play. Who said that? I thought they said they want you. Oh, you put that out there in
That out there. I'm just saying,
universal streets.
because you know that language too. You know,
Oh, you didn't say a thing. You
I
better
never
watch
said a
out
thing. You
now.
know, hey, when the
Oh,
pen,
sugar smacks.
you know,
Might have to get it all the way together here.
agave,
All
agave.
right. All right, we're gonna get it
Yes,
together.
yes, yes. See, people are
Cool.
saying, I agree. I love this. Congratulations. Absolutely.
Oh,
Yes,
y'all are so
wonderful.
amazing.
Yes.
I would actually love to do that. I would love to do that.
There
And
is nothing stopping you. Not even you. Not even you can stop you now.
ooh, you better say it. You getting ooh, she done spoke the words. She's like, look, get out your way. We gonna
I'm
make
just
it happen today. So no, I thank you so much for that. That
yeah.
just y'all just taught me some things. You just taught me some things. Yeah. So I'm not
I
gonna say
got a
no to that.
6-year-old that will play the young you. It's just it's like
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not mad at any of that wonderful goodness. I would love it.
ask me,
I
Paul,
would
ask
love
me,
it.
Paul.
Right? Exactly. I would absolutely love it because if this story can help somebody else, because that's I'm be honest, and I want to share that it has always been my dream to be on a red carpet with my scars showing,
Yeah.
like scars are popping, so that other people know that you don't have to be perfect to be worth it.
Or that they don't make you not perfect.
Exactly.
You are
Exactly. You
just
have your own unique beauty, and that's honestly exactly that's exactly what I want people to understand. And I'm excited about it. And yeah.
We
Uh-oh.
got a movie too. We got a movie deal. Did Tyler Perry just pop on and offer a movie deal? Oh, that was somebody said. Oh, okay.
Oh Lord. I'm like, what the okay.
I think they
Well,
know
all
Tyler.
right,
So
Lord,
let's
bring it
go ahead,
on.
whatever
Bring all the
connection,
goodness.
so we're just gonna go ahead and make sure that this book gets into the right hands.
Okay.
Maybe a Super Soul Sunday might be in the future. But speaking of which, is there anything in the near future that everyone should look out for? Are you going to be doing any more signings or anything like that that we should be aware of?
So, what I am looking to do in the new year, I would like to do a relaunch
Okay.
of the I've Got Scars Baby podcast,
Okay.
and just taking everything to the next level. Um, continuing with amazing guests and their stories, and then a newer look as well. That's what I'm looking forward to, and you guys are putting some stuff out into this atmosphere that I never thought about. So the whole fact that you just said a play, I'm like, my goodness.
Well, you've
Let me
attracted this
think about
moment to
something.
you. You've attracted this moment to you.
Well, there you go. Well,
Manifestation.
I'm open. I'm open to the other things that I may not have thought about that are amazing, but there are some projects in alignment with the I've Got Scars Baby brand that I'm looking to put together and bring to everyone. Uh that's just, kind of in alignment with what we're doing. Like I said, I love to encourage. That's the thing that brings me so much joy. Um and so yeah, I would love for everybody to feel beautiful, scars and all,
Yeah.
in whatever that is. Yeah.
Yeah. And then too, that you in a nice little flow when you overtime and people still hanging in there.
I know. I'm like, my
Yeah.
goodness, I done made the people's late. Y'all got stuff to do.
No,
We 6 minutes over.
hey, everybody is here because they want to be here, not because you force them. And that's the beauty of being able to touch people a particular way. This project, not just the project, but who you were before the project, touched so many people that brought people on to share this moment with you. And we just appreciate you opening your life up and, sharing those increment details. And, we just can't wait for more from Audra Bryant, you know. Like I said, the I've Got Scars Baby brand is out there. So y'all go ahead and like I said, she's Googleable and apparently so is the I Got Scars Baby brand.
Okay. And I appreciate you all so much. Um, I'm hoping this isn't my first book, and we'll just see
You mean
we'll
the
see
last
where things go. Oh, oops, I'm sorry.
last
Yeah, I hope this isn't my last book because this is my first book. So
somebody
technically, thank you for
we
catching me
got
on that.
keep that memory thing right there. No,
Thank you. Oh, so I love you guys so much. I thank you so much for being here. Make sure you
you
get
got
a
a +1
copy.
for your red carpet event. Just FYI, you got +1.
Oh, plus ones. Oh my. Ah, I love it. I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. Like I appreciate you all so much. Definitely let me know what you think, when you get the book, when you read it. I would love your feedback, honestly, because it would honestly help me. And I may be doing some lives, in alignment with the book. So we'll see what happens. But definitely, I appreciate you so much.
Yes, and Charlene Green says your scars are popping, baby.
Oh, all that girl.
Yes, yes.
Yes, that was the plan. I wanted them to pop.
Well, thank you all so much for joining us for this great interview. Please share the link or share with a friend to come and watch it and keep this energy flowing. And then be ready for more from the I've Got Scars Baby brand and get your book. Stop playing. If you don't have it, go get it. And if you do have a copy, you know that you know somebody who need a copy. And guess what? Holiday season, it's not so
Mm,
much the holidays. People celebrate their birthdays like it's holidays. So this is
mm.
an all year round buy, all year round read, all year round giveaway. So make sure you go and grab a copy. Grab a few copies and go ahead and save one for the small children who gonna grow up to need to read this book.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Because at the end of the day, like I said in my story, I was burned at 18 months and I didn't look at myself in the mirror until I was 25 years old. And I don't want anybody to have an experience where they don't feel comfortable embracing all of themselves.
Mhm.
Like, you are worth it. You are worthy. You're amazing no matter what you've been through. And perfection really doesn't exist. And if anything, scars make you beautiful. They literally make you the benefit of scars. And I just want to say this, and then we're going to go. Scars really have, and they give you an opportunity. They open up something inside of you. Whenever you've experienced trauma of any sort, it opens you up to being a more compassionate person and a more loving person many times if you allow them to. So allow your scars to make you beautiful. And I thank you so much for being here. And yeah.
Yes. So before we go out, somebody requested to hear the I've Got Scars Baby theme song.
Oh Lord.
We opened up with it, and I think it would be great to go ahead and close out with it. But Audra, I have to thank you for something, because a few years back when Love was about 4, she saw your scar. We were sitting down having a consultation. She saw the scar and she asked you about it. And so she's been so protective of so many people because of the explanation you gave her. So thank you for sharing that with her. She always says, just like Audra said, you got to be very careful around certain things,
Yeah.
So thank you for
Absolutely.
that. So
Aw.
we're gonna close out with the I Got Scars Baby theme song. Who got a theme song to their book?
Oh my gosh, y'all so funny. I love it. At the same time, I should have warmed my voice up for all of this. This is not my expectation, but I'll sing a little bit, and then we just go and then we're gonna do the whole music video.
You
But
gonna
I'll
put it
sing a
in
little tiny bit. I'll
there?
sing a teenity bit.
Okay. Me. I mean, you.
I got scars, baby. I got flaws, baby. I'm trying to break down these walls, baby. But tell me, am I still beautiful? Beautiful. I got scars, baby. I got flaws, baby. I'm trying to break down these walls, baby. But tell me, am I still beautiful? Beautiful. And the answer is yes, you are. I appreciate you for being here. All right, now.
I didn't look at myself change clothes in the mirror until I was 25 because I wanted to avoid my scars. But then I learned that our scars are a work of art because they tell our story. And they're beautiful. I got scars, babe. I got flaws, babe. I'm trying to break down these walls, baby. But tell me, am I still beautiful, beautiful? I got scars, baby. I got flaws, baby. Trying to break down these walls, baby. Tell me, am I still beautiful, beautiful, beautiful? It's been such a long time since I looked myself in the eye, and I can't believe I'm so fly yet. All this time I've been so blind, and look at me now. I thought I had to be perfect in order to be worth it. I thought I had to be flawless to accept all this. I got scars, baby. I got flaws, baby. Trying to break down these walls, baby. Tell me, am I looking for. 'Cause baby, I can't be no more. Am I good enough to hold you? Am I good enough to love you? Am I good enough to be enough for you? I got scars, baby. I got flaws, baby. Trying to break down these walls, baby. Baby, am I still beautiful? Am I beautiful? Am I beautiful? Yeah. I got scars, baby. Hey, oh, I got flaws, baby. Got these flaws, baby. Tryna break down these walls. Tell me, am I still beautiful? Am I? Oh, yeah. I got scars, baby. I got flaws, baby. Gonna break down these walls. Hey, am I beautiful? Beautiful, yeah. Hey, yeah. Yes, I got flaws, baby. I got flaws, baby. And I'm gonna break down these walls.